Hi, everybody. Welcome to our show. We call it Three Broke Guys Handicapping. It's where we review one of the top racing cars from around the United States. We will select a four-race sequence from that track and attempt to come to a consensus on a pick four ticket. Thank you for joining us. It's week number 22 of the 2018 racing season. And between the Preakness and the Belmont, we head home. It's Santa Anita Racetrack in Arcadia, California, and they have a nice little Saturday card. It's the Gamely Stakes. We'll highlight that card on Saturday. The late pick four starts in race number 6. It ends in race number 9. There are a pair of stakes races in that pick four on Saturday. My name is Rich Sharp, and each week I'll be joined by my friends and racing analysts. Folks, our East Coast handicapper, and he is coming to us live from his home in Staten Island, New York. Ray Torado, are you going to plan a trip to the Belmont to see Justify this year?
Yes. I have I have 4 general admission seats. So the minute they sell out, the price is mine. I can sell a few and I can probably go there for free. So it sounds like unless you two guys want to go, then you get on the plane and the ticket is yours.
Let me think about it. All right. Up next is our West Coast handicapper, and he is here from his home. He's in Temecula, California. Joe English, how are you doing this week, my friend?
I'm doing good, and I just needed to tell Ray, unfortunately, both my kids are graduating that Thursday and the Friday before that weekend. No, unfortunately, I will not be able to attend.
Oh, boy.
As much as I'd like to. I've got more pressing family matters at home.
Mm.
But thank you for the offer.
Okay.
Okay, so all right, there's a little housekeeping here. Last week that was historic Pimlico race course, and the good news is that we hit our pick four last week. And for those of you who are playing along week to week, that actually gave us consecutive scores in our pick four tickets. And even better news, we actually had that pick four ticket twice. So the bad news is we still managed to lose just about $20 as the Chalk and Bob Baffert ruled the late races in Baltimore.
Chalk in the mud.
Still won.
But we still won.
Yep, there we go. All right, time for a quick weather update from Arcadia, California, and I'm glad to be telling you about something other than mud and rain and storms. It's mostly cloudy skies early, and they are going to become partly cloudy later in the day. A wonderful high of 72 degrees, winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour, and there is a 0% chance of rain. A total of 9 races. There are 3 stakes on tap for Saturday. For today, we are focused on the pick 4. It begins in race number 6. It concludes in race number 9. Gentlemen, the gates are locked and loaded. The outriders are clear, and the starter is ready to pop the gate. It's pick 4 post time.
Let's do it.
Fortunately, I only need 1 pair of goggles today.
There you go. Race number 6, the approximate post time is 6:14 p.m. Eastern time. A little bit late for pick 4 there, Sandy. Guaranteed pick 4. I don't know what the guarantee is in the pick 4, but I assume there is a guarantee in the pick 4 on Saturday for Santa Anita Racetrack. They are going 1.25 miles on the turf. It is the Charles Whittingham Stakes. Grade 2 purse is $200,000 for 3-year-olds and upward. 8 starters, and your morning line favorite starts from post number 6. It's in the post, trained by Jeff Mullins and ridden by Tyler Bays. 6-5 on the Santa Anita morning line. Over his 49 years as a head trainer, Charlie Whittingham had 252 stakes wins and became the all-time leading trainer at both Hollywood Park Racetrack and Santa Anita Park. Whittingham trained several champions, including American Horse of the Year honorees Ack, Ferdinand, and Sunday Silence. Joe, I don't think we're old enough here. This might be before our times and like that. But did you ever have a chance to see the great Charlie Whittingham?
No.
See him in person? You mean like at Santa Anita?
Yeah.
No, because I only moved out to California in '94. I mean, I might have, but I don't recall it. Plus, I do want to do, like you said, Rich, a little housekeeping. According to Twitter, Tyler Bays is off all mounts this weekend. He was in an incident last weekend, and he said he wants to be fully rested when he comes back, so he took off all his mounts. I do not know what that means for It's in the Post. My guess is they will find somebody who will do the job and ride the 6-5 morning line favorite. My guess is Jeff Mullins might have a few guys beating at his door, or a few jockey agents beating at his door already, or since this morning, since the announcement was made. But what's funny is, and if you look at his PPs, he's obviously worthy of being the 6-1 morning line favorite. But I'm going in another direction here. I'm tired of all the endless stream of chalk that we ate last week at Pimlico. So I see that there are at least 3 below 2-1 favorites in this pick 4 sequence. I'm going with the 1. I like Flamboyant. I like the fact that the horse came back to win at a distance that's probably not his best. Winning at a mile in the San Francisco handicap at Golden Gate in March. I think he, on his best, he was definitely a threat, and he's won at this, at these longer distance races before. The last race I have in my PPs is from back in 2016 when he was actually good enough to run in the Dubai turf race, and he finished 5th out of 15 that year. He was really good back then. He obviously tailed off a little bit, had some success in the summer months of 2017, and maybe that's what they're planning on this year. But like I said, I like the comeback win, and I just have a little bit of a sense that it's in the post. And I don't want to say he's not what he used to be, but I just have a feeling that he's not necessarily what he was. And the other thing is that Mullins' horses have not been running. I don't want to say not running well. He's just Snake, but he seems like he's getting a lot of seconds and thirds. The statistics I had for the meet showed him as 1 for 26. So when a barn is kind of cold like that, and you're going to get a short price, my guess is based on the field, you probably aren't going to get 6-5. He's probably going to be closer to 4-5, maybe even 3-5, maybe lower than that. So when the barn's running like that, and the horse, something about that last race just doesn't sit well with me. Maybe it was the trip back east. Maybe it's just that he's been beating up on the Southern California horses, and maybe he just ran into a better field then, and he could easily return to his form, his rightful place as the leader of the Southern California long distance turf division. But I'm going to take a shot with the 1. I'm going to go with Flamboyant. Brice Blanc gets back aboard. He's been on before. And this horse has won 3 times over the course. So I'm going to take a little bit of I'm going to take the second choice. I think he's the second choice in the morning line, 4-1, Flamboyant. And I'm going to be brazen enough that on my main pick 4 ticket, I would probably single Flamboyant. If I was going to play another ticket with it's in the post on it, I would obviously play longer prices to make it worthwhile. The endless stream of chalk that came up at Pimlico has me wanting to see a horse pay more than $720, which no horse paid on that day. So I'm going to start with Flamboyant. I'm going to single the 1. And my main pick 4 ticket will either be alive with lots of coverage later, or it'll be dead after the first leg, and I'll move on to the pick 3. So Flamboyant for me in the Charlie Whittingham, right?
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm in your ballpark here. I'm also trying to beat it's in a post. I like number 5, Kenji Storm, Flavian Pratt. This might be a nice distance for him. The mile might have been a little bit too quick and short. He finished third. So he ran a good race, and he might actually get the first jump on Waterview, because Waterview will be in front, and he'll go as long as he can. He's a miler, but they're gonna stretch him out a little bit. And never know. He might. He'll be right close to him, and hopefully the pace will be pretty good, and he'll get first jump and collapse distance. Pratt's 22% on turf, 24% with EP types. I like that, and Phil the model's 18% for the meet. So his horse is running pretty good. So I'll take a shot 8-1, Kenji Storm. I gotta include it's in the post. Likely favorite. It's 2 for 5 at the distance. He closed at torrid pace in BC turf. He's 7th, but by 5 lengths, not too bad. That was a tremendous race. Talismanic, Beach Patrol, Highland Wheel. as you can see, the figure was big, and they ran huge that race. And this is third race off the layoff, so and he's always been very good. So he'll be back tomorrow. 7 wins, Antonina, and high weight. But I'll include him. But my main horse will be the 5, Kenji Storm. Uh, Syntax number 8 for me is more of a B pick. He likes the track, but he's winless. One of those horses that just keeps plodding along, second, third, second, third. He's gone longer effectively and doesn't win often. So for me, he's on my B line. I just want to mention him. The switch, I like to switch to Franco. Could be answer, but I'll keep underneath. So for me, 5, 6, and 8 underneath. Rich, back to you.
I'm going to have to use the favorite here. So the 6 is in the post, and I'm not sure who the jockey's going to be, but there's plenty of eligible good jocks here at Santa Anita. So I don't think Jeff Holland's going to have any problems finding anybody to replace in there. As Joe and Ray have already mentioned, he's the class of the longer distance turf division out here in California. So as you see there, he's got the 3 firsts in a row, kind of going back as far. Sorry, let me bring up my. He had 3 wins in a row, and then as Joe alluded to, the Elkhorn. I didn't see anything wrong there. I was shocked that he was going off as the favorite. For anybody who's watched our show, you'll know that I'm not real big on California horses going east on the turf, and I'm really big on East Coast horses coming over here west. And so I thought he actually ran fairly good. And you see there the 2 horses that beat him, One Go, All Go, and Oscar nominated, have shown up on this show before. I'm not sure that hung is the correct word to use there. I think the word I would probably use is those horses are better than it's in the post is. That being said, he's back with friends. I made sure to analyze the racing form really, really closely to make sure I didn't miss some Saratoga or Arlington or, God forbid, Kentucky Down shipper that's sneaking in here and things like that. There is nobody. And so I'm going to stick with Jeff Mullins and whoever it is that he decides to put in there. It's in the post as my top pick. If I am going to use a second choice, Ray brought up What of You. So I'm tempted to throw What of You in there. He's a tough guy, and he will be on the lead. I think he can handle Kenji Storm. It's just that extra quarter of a mile I'm a little bit concerned with, especially with Kenji's Storm in the race. So my second choice, if I am going to go too deep, and I might here, is going to be the Jerry Hollendorfer's horse that he brought up from South America. He's a 5-year-old. It's called Full of Luck, and he's by looking at Lucky. So the distance is not going to be a problem here, the 1.25 miles. And as you see down there, that he actually that was his preferred distance down there in Chile when he was running. He really was a 1.25 miles horse. He's got some grade 1s and grade 2s, which is probably like $50,000 claimers up here in California or something like that. But and he's not exactly beating up on huge fields. At one point in time, he actually won a 16-horse race way back in February 2017. These last few races that he's taken on down there in Chile, he's had field sizes something along the lines of 6, 3, 5. That's not great. Okay, the good news is he's won them. And so, he's 8 for 16 lifetime. He's 5 for 7 at the distance, 8 for 15 on the turf. It's the Dwarf. He brought him up here to California on the 31st, and he started up north in the San Francisco in that race that Flamboyant won, and then brings him right down here in the California on the a 9 furlong race on the dirt. As you see there at the 2nd furlong, he's at least within talking distance of some pretty good horses down here. So. I thought that maybe the 2 would be my second choice if I was going to go too deep. So I believe I went 6-2. I believe, Ray, you went 5-6. And yeah. Joe, if I'm not mistaken, is big on the single here. He's got the 1 just up there in the front of him.
Rich, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you while you were talking. Full of Luck is actually not running in this race. He is he's actually entered in the Gold Cup, which is the race prior to this.
Okay.
Entered in the Gold Cup, and he is running on the dirt. He is not. He is scratched from this race.
All right,
at least according to the program on the Santa Anita website.
So, like I said, in light of that, I really like the analysis still, like that. But I'm going to stick with the 6 then. So I'm just single to the 6. As I said, what of you might be a possible second choice here with that, but for our choices here, I'm just going to single the 6. I think Ray has got the 5 and the 6, and Joe, you've just got the single to the 1.
Correct.
All right, and let me figure out how to come on back here.
and that's the only scratch on the program in the sequence. And I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that when I was doing my analysis, and I'm sorry I did not do that.
All right. Race number 7. All right, they're going 6.5 furlongs. It's a maiden special weight. The purse is $54,000 for California-bred or California-sired maidens, 3-year-olds and upward. 9 starters, and the morning line favorite is in post number 7. It's Baby Gronk, trained by Bill Spar and ridden by Martin Pedroza, and he is 6-5 on the Santa Anita morning line. The irony here, folks, is that I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to a lifelong New York Giants fan for a race with a favorite name for Rob Gronkowski. Okay, Ray, as my resident G-man, this better be anybody other than the 7. Go ahead.
I'm all over it. Beat the Gronk, right? I'm really leaning towards beating the Gronk because I don't think there's he's a maiden, and for me, he's had 2 times already, so I'm leaning elsewhere. I'm going a little price here. This is where this pick 4 could blow off for us. For me personally, I'm looking at number 8, Jonas. He's 10-1. Second time, Peter Miller. I think this horse can improve. Go another furlong. Victor Espinosa stays aboard. They weren't too bad. I mean, got beat 3. They finished third, 11 lengths. 3 wide into the stretch. Just didn't have enough. He's out of coil. So he probably will improve as his races go on. Point given. So he's got a good weight, 125. So that's pretty heavy there for these maidens. But California breds, Peter Miller's hot. He's at 21%. And I'll stick with Jonas. Jonas, 10-1. I do like number 1, Old Indian Trick. Basically, you got a hot apprentice here, Asa Espinosa. Also, second time racing, first race. Wasn't too bad. State breds also. Third by 6, 10-1. And, jockey stays aboard. He got a good figure in the debut. So I think he'll move forward. And could improve. He was 5 behind Baby Gronk. So, second race, definitely look for a proof for Michael Bukowski. Actually getting a good 7-point allowance, too. And, jockeys running very well. Espinosa, for you guys out there. So I'll go number 1. And I got to include number 7, Baby Gronk. Had 2 tries with the lead and stretch. Going longer here, so I'm not too confident that the speed's going to hold up for him. The only hope is for him to open up and just hold on. Because a lot of these maiden races, they don't pass each other. That's his only hope. At 6-5, you can have him. I'm looking elsewhere. I'm looking for prices here. He'll be on a ticket, but just as an insurance policy there. So for me, I go 8, 1, and 7. Joe, California breds.
Yeah, Ray. It's funny. I'm thinking about Baby Gronk, and I agree with you 100%. Going 6.5 furlongs, I have no confidence that. And it's really funny to say you can't say a horse can't get a 6.5 furlong distance,
right, yeah,
because he can't. I just don't have the confidence that he's going to hold on, having had a couple of chances. On the other hand, he's been well clear of everybody else in the race in both of those attempts. And Bill Spar still can train, and obviously Pedroza gets on. He'll be on my ticket, as would the 1 Old Indian Trick, who you also mentioned. But because I'm looking for somebody to do the deed and actually close the ground, I'm going to be on Get On Your Pulpit, the horse who looks like he's going to be able to close some ground. And what's funny is it's like, okay, I'm looking at both Get On Your Pulpit and Fashionably Fast, and they were both ridden previously by Tiago Pereira. And I know we always talk about, well, Mike Smith gets the choice of this or Johnny V gets the choice of that. And I'm like wondering, did Tiago Pereira get his choice, or because he's Tiago Pereira was he kicked off? And I'm looking at because I'm looking at the percentages on Johnny Franco's obviously, at least at this moment, a better rider than Tiago Pereira.
I agree.
So at this point, I mean, you're getting blinkers on. The horse obviously has shown an ability to close at six, at 6.5 and at 7. And to me, if there's a horse that's going to be coming from the back, he's the one. I mean, it looks like there are other speed in here like Black Storm, and Old Indian Trink. I figure is going to have to go from the rail because you don't basically win from there, even as a pace. If you're not really on the pace, if he's good enough, and he could improve off that first race, absolutely. If he's good enough, he could win. But I think he's going to have to go. So I think there's going to be enough speed to stay with Baby Gronk, and I think they'll do enough to just tire him out so that somebody can get up and beat him. Jonas could do it. Get on your pulpit could do it. And like Ray says, this is the spot where the pick 4 could become more lucrative. So, I mean, the 3 horses, the 2 that Ray mentioned and Get on Your Pulpit would be on my ticket. In order, it would be the 5, the 7, and then the 1 for me in the maiden special weights for Calbreds. Rich?
Alrighty. I do like the favorite here. I couldn't toss Baby Gronk as much as I hate the Patriots myself. Just couldn't do it. He wasn't my top pick. And here was the reason that he wasn't my top pick is he is the horse who has had 3 races, although one of them was off a significant layoff. The first one came all the way back in August of 2017. Forgive the layoff for that first one, and then really look at that next one. He really fired up a big speed number there. But I'm going to say that's about it for Baby Gronk. We kind of know where he's at. Obviously, he's a talented horse. Can run early on the lead. I'm not so much sure as far as the Roy Charmant being his sire, how much further he's going to want to go. But Roy Charmant was one of the best sprinters. So he is on my card. He was not my top pick because I thought I thought Old Indian Trick had a little bit of improvement left on him. So he only had 1 race, so to speak. Had a nice speed figure in that one. Finished 3rd out of 7 horses. It was the same race that Baby Gronk. And was up there contending the pace at least through the second call. So I figured this horse has an opportunity for a little bit more of an improvement in the second time out. Didn't get a very good draw, and I have to go right from the rail, so I'm not so sure about that. So I went 1-7 here. I did like it. I believe it's called Get on Your Pulpit, except I just have that feeling, these Santa Anita races, you guys see us do this, to be back that, you handicap the back page first. This is ridiculously fast, 75% going there. So I decided to stay just with the pace horses and didn't use anybody coming from the back in this one. I just went 1-7. Ray went 8-1-7. And I believe, Joe, you went 5-7-1.
Yes.
Correct. All right. So I'm going to come on back.
It's like a highway, man. 75%.
Yeah, I know. It really is.
1-2.
At this level on the
except for me, except that Baby Gronk's had his chances.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
He has. All right. We're moving along here to the feature. This is race number 8. Well, I guess it's the co-feature on the day. The California Gold Cup is already in the races as well. So this is race number 8. They're going 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf. It's the Gamely Stakes, a Grade 1. Purse is $300,000 for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. 8 starters, and your morning line favorite at 9-5 is in post number 7. Hawksmoor, trained by Arnaud Delacour and ridden by Julien Leparoux. The race was inaugurated in 1939 as the Long Beach Handicap at Hollywood Park Racetrack in Inglewood, California, over a distance of 1 mile. The event was dormant until 1968 when it was run for dirt for 3-year-olds and over on a distance of 1 1/16 miles. The following year, the race was conditioned for fillies and mares at the distance of 1 mile. In 1973, the distance was set at the current route of 1 mile and 1/8 with a classification of Grade 2, and the race was renamed for the 1976 running to honor the U.S. Racing Hall of Fame filly Gamely, who had died in 1975. Let's see. Following the closure of Hollywood Park, the race moved to Santa Anita Park in 2014. And Ray, sometimes it just works out this way, but you got both the stakes races tonight, and Joe got both the maidens.
Oh, really? Lucky me. Hollywood Park, I remember that place.
Ugh.
I miss it.
I don't.
We have a guy, Rich, forget your bobblehead. That's my horse. Chad Brown's here. I'm going with Uni. Number 5. You got Irider Ortiz. They'll be on the same plane, hopefully. And if you guys go, you get a chance to see him. This is a good horse. He's developing as a nice little 4-year-old. He won his first race. Aqueduct, not much of a race there, but he beat some decent horses. He's 4 to 5, and ran a mile, and that was the starting point. So now looking a little further here. He's looking for his first Grade 1. It's a good spot for him. He's moving up in class. He's got to go cross country for this, so I hope it's worth the trip for them. I think we did handicap this horse, and we did win with this horse last year. So, she's gonna get her distance. Second race off the layoff, and I think she'll like the mile and eight. She's 1 for 3 or second. So I'm willing to take the 3 to 1. Could be around that price. I do have a little long shot here, number 3, Mulpetism. This is one of those horses that's been, hanging around the stake races, second, third. So, she has the experience. She has the graded black tap. She just hasn't won in these races. I mean, she won like Canada. But I think now she's been running second to Unique Bella, Fabian, third to Fault. So you don't have any of those horses here. So I think she's worthy of a 10 to 1 price here. And she was actually the favorite in a Santa Margarita, if you believe it or not, against Fault. So the public did like her that day. She finished third. She held third. So this is a very interesting situation here. It's the first time she's on grass. So I like to see that. He's trying something different. Doug O'Neill, Redham stable. And maybe, the grass will put her to the winner's circle in a nice Grade 1 here. Gutierrez on board. They've been pretty good together, 24% last 32 races. The trainers with the trainer. So, 10 to 1, I like that price. I do like number 1, Madam Dance a Lot. Got here Richard Baltus, Corey Nakatani. This is her second race off the layoff. She went to Churchill. Ran decent. I mean, it says blade improvement, but, I guess she just passed some tired horses and, made up some lengths, but she only passed 4 horses from the second call. Maybe she needed the race. She had come off a layoff. She went out there. Like Rich says, sometimes the West Coast horses don't do too well on the East Coast, and she was there on Derby Day. She started rolling late, but just too late. But now she's back home, and she's 2 for 8 with 2 seconds, so she's 4 for 8 in the exacta. She has a good closing style, and that's good for Santina course because on the back page you have the 36% of the EP types win, so they're more favored to a little bit of a closers there. She'll get the rail, she'll be able to save ground, and hope there's a hole, and pounce at the top of the stretch. So those are my 3 horses there, the 5, the 3, and the 1. Joe, you got the game, Lee.
I'm going to make this one as simple as I possibly can. Well, because 5 of the horses are coming out of the a common, actually 4 of the horses are coming out of the Royal Heroine. It was a race won by Bo Recall, who basically just sat at the back and looped the field. And other, horses that have come out of that race really haven't done well. Madam Stripes ran on the East Coast in the same race that Madam Dancelot won. She finished okay. Thundering Sky has come back. I believe Thundering Sky has come back and run. Not sure if she was in the same race or not, but didn't really fare all that well. And again, this goes to Rich's angle about West Coast horses heading east. The East Coast horses are just better. So I'm going to be real simple about this and take the 2 East Coast horses. I'm going to take Hawksmoor. I know she's 9 to 5 in the morning line. She's been really, really close to winning her Grade 1. You can see a lot, see a second in the Matriarch here. Delmar second in the First Lady. So she's had opportunities to win the Grade 1. I think a mile and an eighth is a distance she's okay with. She's won at longer distances. Hasn't been able to help. I guess the milers have gotten to her late, and maybe this in between might be just what she needs. I don't know that there's a lot of pace in this race either. To me, it really seems like she's going to be on the lead, and she might, be in control from the moment the gates pop until as long as she gets to, as long as she's on the front end. But the other horse I have to use Ray's top pick, and that's Uni. Chad Brown has an amazing amount of turf fillies, and it's funny because he had nominated like 4 other ones. 4 Stars Crook, I think Off Limits might have been nominated as well. Sister Charlie was the other Chad Brown. They ran 1, 2, 3 at Keeneland in the Grade 1, and he just seems to do this over and over and over again. And to be honest, I'm thinking he's saving all his big bullets for the Just the Game, because the Just the Game is in 2 weeks on the Belmont Undercard. So this might be his 4th or 5th string, but hell, his 4th or 5th string may be better than everybody's first string on the West Coast. So, like I said, I'm going to simplify it. I'm going to take the 2 Eastern horses as my 2 top picks. And Ray, I agree with you that Mopatism, Uncle Mo's usually do pretty well on turf. I had a chance to look at the dam. This is her first foal, so obviously there's no real record of what this horse, what she will produce on the turf. But at 10-1, I'm willing to take a shot. So basically, what I'm doing is I'm playing against the West Coast California horses that we know so much about, and we know that it seems as if the horse was from the East, and Rich's famous new face from another place. I can use Mopatism as a new face from another surface. It's the same thing. He just hasn't been facing these horses. And like I said, I just think those 3 are probably the top 3. Heck, could they easily run 1, 2, 3? Yeah, I could see it. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of the West Coast turf females or males for that matter. And it's funny that nobody came out west to try and take down the Whittingham going a mile and a quarter. I guess maybe it's because the Manhattan is also running the mile and a quarter on the Belmont Undercard again, which probably affects what came out here. So I'll take Hawksmoor, Uni, and Mopatism. The top 2 choices would be the 5 and the 7 in any order you want. And Mopatism would be my long shot, just as Ray mentioned earlier. So 5, 7, 3 in the gamely. Rich?
Yeah, I hate to do it. Kind of what Joe said. You heard me earlier. I was looking when I handicap these turf races in California. I've learned, especially in the stakes races, just take a peek to see if there's somebody who's got some East Coast turf form on there, and if they do, then my money is on that horse. The handicapping ends, and I just play that angle very heavily. So in this particular case, as you see there from the camera angle and things like that, it's not only got the turf angle and like that, it's got Chad Brown on turf, for God's sake. So I have Uni as my top pick. I have the 5 there. I'll go back to the racing form while we leave Chad up there and like that. But Uni has got 2 of the last 3 races have been victories. We have Irad Ortiz. Joe, I was going to sit there and tell you, this is why I'm so bummed that I'm not going to the track tomorrow. One of my favorite riders in America, Irad Ortiz, is going to be at the track tomorrow. I was wondering if Chad Brown himself might even be there. Could have taken my
sure, maybe. It's possible. It's possible.
Sure. Could have taken my doll and gotten it signed and everything, but
not much.
Yeah, it's funny though. If he had more than one horse, and maybe if he had something in the Gold Cup, I could see him coming.
Yeah,
for one, I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
So I settled on Uni, or Uni. I guess it's short for unicorn. As my top choice here. I really did love the Irad Ortiz shipping in from the East Coast. A big fan of the Ortiz brothers. Probably like his younger brother a little bit better, but he's a sensational rider as well. So wasn't going to toss Hawksmoor. Again, just looking for that East Coast turf form, and this horse has got it in shades. Has been knocking on the door at the Grade 1 level. Right there. Gets Julien Leparoux. Arnaud Delacour is one of the best turf trainers in America. And so I didn't go much further than that. I just stopped right at 5-7 because those are the 2 turf horses that are in the race. I've got Chad Brown. I've got the favorite, and I didn't think any of the California ones had a chance. So I've got 5-7. Joe's got 5-7, and I believe Ray's got 5-3-1. And look at that. I'm already back. and we can go ahead and move right along to the finale. This is race number 9. It is 6 furlongs on the main track. It is maiden claiming 30,000. Purse is $21,000 for maidens. 3-year-old claiming price of $30,000. I've often liked to say, if you see me smiling about that, like that, if I came back as a horse, I would probably come back as a maiden claiming 30,000, and I would certainly be a dirt horse. All right,
I'll put in the claim.
Yeah, you put in the claim. Yeah, 10 starters, and your morning line favorite starts from post number 7. It's a New Year, trained by Peter Miller and ridden by Heriberto Figueroa. 7-2 on the Santa Anita morning line. So let's see, Joe. I unfortunately I couldn't do any better than that. As I said before, Ray got the stakes races tonight, and you got the maiden. You got the maiden special weight, and now you get a whole pack of Richard Sharps going 6 furlongs on the main track.
Actually, yeah. You know what? I think I'm going to do that, Rich. I think because it's put such a smile on your face, I think you should go first in this race. So go ahead, you take it away. I'll go later.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, and I will tell you, this was actually I thought this was I thought this one came up as a pretty tough maiden claiming 30,000 dirt, and thank God I've got some bullets that are left like that. I'm tempted to hit the all button here. So I will tell you, I did like the favorite. Unfortunately, It's a New Year is by Pete Miller and like that. I'm not familiar with this jockey. He is one of the apprentices that's over here at Santa Anita. From what I read, and I just took a quick read like that, it sounds like he's actually fairly well thought of. That Figueroa has actually done some good work here. And so I thought Pete Miller, being who he is, going into that maiden claiming rank on the dirt, I certainly wouldn't leave him off of a ticket here. My top pick actually is all the way down here because, as I alluded to in the last rate, like one of my favorite jockeys in the country is out at Santa Anita tomorrow. Me and Joe actually had a plan to go. Unfortunately, if my son's watching this, I'm hoping that he gets better really, really soon. But I'm not going to be able to make it out to the track tomorrow. Just kind of trying to keep him in my best thoughts. And as a result, I am not going to get to see Mr. Irad Ortiz out there. He's hooking up with Steve Miotti, a sneaky good trainer out here in California. As you see there, Miotti's sprint numbers, 26%, route to sprint, 22%. This is where I was kind of hoping Mr. English would come in here with his formulator numbers and give us all kinds of really cool stats. But he does have, as you see here, right? Yeah, Irad's 2 for 7. Just draw a line through that. That's what his Santa Anita numbers are for this week or whatever he's done this year and things like that. The guy is top 3, top 5 jockeys in the entire country. The horse has only had 3 races so far. Has shown some early speed on the dirt. In that last one, that was a mile race, so kind of packed it in a little bit, but was in an inside duel, according to what the race caller said. In an 8-horse field, going maiden claiming 50,000. So this is maiden claiming 30,000. A little bit of a break, if you like. Here, they were in state bred special weights before that. So Flynn is actually my top pick in the finale here. If you've got bullets like we are, like I will at this point in time, I would consider going as deep as you need to go in this race. Again, it seemed like it was a sneaky tough race, a get out race. But I'm going to go 10-7 as my 2 picks. And at this point in time, I will hand it back over to Mr. English, who was kind enough to give me the blank slate.
No problem. You know what's funny, Rich? To be honest, I hadn't done any formulator work on this horse. It's amazing. I have it on others, but I didn't do it on him, and I'm not sure exactly why. But you're right about the speed angle, and I'm going with the other speed as well. I like the 10 as one of my top choices for everything that Rich said. I'm going to go with the 4 also. Imagine I am fastest, and I'm imagining that he is going to be fastest. Obviously, Hector Palmer is having a rough meet, 0 for 20. But Martin Pedroza, who's obviously a very good gate jockey, at least his reputation has always been as a very good gate jockey. I guess as he's going to the lead, he's cutting back from 7 furlongs to 6. The barn is better on dirt than on turf, and the horse is coming down from 50 to 30. I'm not sure how much of a difference that will make, if it'll make any difference at all. I'm thinking more the cutback, and Rich talked about doing the back page first, and I'm sure the back page is what I don't. If
Not this one.
if it's 75% at 6.5 furlongs, yeah, there you go.
Oh, man.
82%
Wow.
of the early speed types win at 6 furlongs. So I would go with the 2 speed types, the 4 and the 10, figuring that they're going to be on the front end. I know Pete Miller's horse has been on the front end, but he's been on the front end in roots, and root speed isn't necessarily the same as sprint speed. Not saying that the horse can't be on the lead. And Rich, just a point of clarification, I've heard Simon Bray actually thinks very highly of Mr. Figueroa, just in case.
Okay, that was it.
I wasn't sure. I mean, I had heard it. I can't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Todd had mentioned it on TVG. Anyway, so again, I'm thinking that the 4 and the 10 have the most sprint speed, so I would go with those 2 as my top picks. And I'm also gonna. It's funny. I'm going to include a horse. I'm going to mention a horse because I actually had a nice angle that allowed me to come up with a $50 some odd winner last week and get me alive to Ashley Love Sugar in the pick 4 on Sunday. Rich talked about Formulator, and I liked going back in the Formulator and seeing what the sire did. And in races like this, nondescript, and I don't want to call it, maybe nondescript isn't the right word, but horses of dubious ability, maybe I'll just put it that way. If you find something that works for you, if you find an angle that you think you like, use it. And I like this angle. I just go back and I see, okay, well, in what did the sire and what did the dam do in their debut? In this case, because you're looking at For a Good Cause, and you're looking at horses. You're looking for horses. What did they do in their debut? And Creative Cause won his debut. So and it's funny because the horse B something, I can't remember the horse's name now, from last Sunday. The horse. No, it wasn't the turf horse. It was the horse in the dirt. It was the horse in the dirt race for Doug O'Neill that paid $50. I just went back and I looked at, and his sire won early. So in a race like this, I'm thinking, yeah, why can't something like this happen as well? And the other thing that made me look at this horse a little bit more closely is that 59-4 work from the gate at Los Al. I was like, man, that's pretty quick considering. I mean, if you look at all the other works on the page, 6 and 116, 6 and 116 and 1 from the gate, 59, and I'm like, oh my God, maybe something happened. Maybe this horse woke up. Maybe this is the way Mike Carrington trains this horse. And like I said, to me it was just a long shot look, figuring the horse won its debut. And we don't know what you're beating in here. Obviously, some of these horses have been maidens for a while and have run 5, 6, 7 races, and obviously they can't be that much. So if you're going to pop with the first time, and if you're going to get, in this case, 12-1, you might even get more than that. I would take, like Rich said, go as deep as you can go in this spot, and if you can, in this case, I would use the 9 For a Good Cause. At least if I was, and this would be a perfect horse for if I was going to put in a ticket with the 3 favorites in the previous legs, meaning Hawksmoor, It's in the Post, and Baby Gronk. This would be the horse that I would use in my 4th leg, because I wouldn't use the favorites because it wouldn't be worth anything to me unless I played the ticket for like $20 or $30. So basically, I would use this horse as a second. He's a B pick for me. And on my main ticket, because I'm singling to Flamboyant in the first leg, I would go deep and I would use the 9 For a Good Cause. My top picks are the 4 Imagine I'm Fastest and the 10 Flynn. So Ray, what can you add to the Irad Ortiz love fest going on here?
David Jacobson love fest. This is the type of race I think we're just gonna spin the Keno machine here because it's time. We've gone light. Number 1, North County guy. David Jacobson trains, owns, and I'm surprised he's not running his horse back. Actually, he is with 7 days. Yes, he is. So that's his trademark. He's dropping to the state breds. He's back into open. He's dropping back in price, 30,000. He gets Leperu. He got Leperu to ride, so he's had some steady speed figures. So he's run, steady. He probably just come out in front one of these days. He needs to improve a bit, and better posts may lead him to a better start. He's been struggling. getting out of the gate, and this might help him this time. So I go number one, 902, North County guy. I do like number four, like you said, the speed types. Actually, number one right shows some speed too, so he should be close to lead too. He has shown speed, so we gotta go. We gotta have to attack the 83% figure of the speed types to winning this races. Number four, Imagine I Am Fastest. Yeah, he's dropping also into 30,000. He's got some speed. He's got some experience on the track. He's 2 out of 3 in the money. So he's got Pedrosia, who's a good jockey on speed horses. Got a gate, and he'll be gunning here. So I like the price 4-1. A lot of these horses, they're just gonna go down the gate and hope to hold on. Number 8 is another horse that I was looking at. You guys didn't mention Pioneer of the Storm. Esther Espinosa is another good apprentice out there, and he's the first time gelding. Hollendorf is 26% on this drop, and he's actually it's a big drop for Spaden. So maiden special weights 230,000 claimer. So it's a very good chance that this horse might be claimed. Sometimes they do that. So you have a lot here. He's been gelded, apprentice, and first time claiming. So 6-1, he's just taking a shot, trying to wake up this horse because his debut was terrible. But he's 22% also in second career race as a trainer. So I'll give him that, and I'll take the price. And I also like number 7. It's New Year's Day. It's a New Year with a Figueroa. Yeah, he's not bad. He's 20%, 4 out of 20. I like his jockey with the E types, 31%, which means he gets out of the gate and he gets in good hands probably.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And he rides a lot of sprints, so and he could probably handle this horse pretty good. This horse needs a little wake up. He's got the cutting back in distance, and he had the same route, he had the same lead, he had the lead in the same class, so he's cutting back. Yeah, they actually ride him in a allowance race in the grass. So Peter Miller does crazy things. So you know, but you gotta trust him. He knows his horses, and he knows how to run them, and how to get them in condition. So he's a really good trainer out there. So I respect that, and he could still a very nice trip, and he's got the figures if he could hold on for this one. So that'll be it. 1487 for me. I do like Joe's 10, so I'll be including that. I like Flynn based on your comments, so I'll be including him. So I'll probably go 6-7 deep in this race. But for me, 1487, guys.
All right, you got Ray with 1487. You got Joe with 10-4, and you got Rich with 10-7. And let me come on back to you. And I think you kind of got a peek out there. I'm going to go ahead and start putting together our template for us.
Okay, I'll fill the time. I'll try anyway. Hey Ray, when actually this is a question for you too, Rich. Ray, you mentioned North County guy with Julian Leperoux. When was the last time you saw Julian Leperoux quarter horse a horse out of a gate? I don't think ever.
Probably not. No.
Given that he's drawn the rail going 6 furlongs, I mean, again, if he gets the job done, that's great. But that's bucking the 80. That's bucking the 82%. But again, like I said, I was just thinking, God, when was the last? My guess is the last time Julian Leperoux quarter horse to race or racehorse might have been the first time he was in the gate, and maybe that was the last one.
Well, he might try and just sit the horn in his pocket,
he's gonna
and go up right up the fence.
Well, he might, he might try to do that. I would think that's more likely than him trying to go battle for the lead.
Yeah.
With those other two.
I can see him sitting third or fourth, just trying to save ground and come up the rail, if there's room.
Yeah. Oh, of course. But now, more importantly, who's your California Gold Cup pick, or have you had a chance to look at the race?
Well, I did look at the race in case they did have it in pick 4. Maybe they would have gone 5 to 8. Some tracks do that. But well, I do like Silver Light. I think he's a really different horse. He's getting better and better and better, and 9-5, decent price. But he's I heard him talking. I think after his last race that he was probably in the handicap division, and he could run very well to share. and you just stretch because you remember last time that we had this the in the Oaklawn. I didn't like it.
We
Prove
just
it to
didn't know
me,
what to do with him.
right? Remember, it said,
Had
prove
no
it to
idea
me
how he was
for
going
the
to go.
distance, and he did it. And like, whoa, like wow, ouch, we got hurt. So let's stick with him. I like him now.
We had
We didn't know. I know.
no idea that
And
he
he
was going to
rolled
run
and
like
he
he.
ran well and he beat us. We went,
I,
we went our tickets. So
I just,
tear them
I
up.
don't know. To me, I mean, I don't know. Are you ready, Rich?
Just about.
Okay. Okay. 'Cause
But I agree with you. I think the last time Julian Leproux quarter horse a horse out of the gate was probably at Deauville in France when he was a teenager or something. You know, I mean,
probably, and they don't do that, and they don't do that often there. Maybe it was in a gate work or something.
Yeah,
somewhere.
exactly. Yeah,
but like, no, I'm just like,
Yeah.
I cannot imagine him doing that ever under any circumstances. But that's just me.
But the way Dr. Doe won that last race, that was explosion.
See,
Going
here's the
9
funny.
furlongs. So
Here's the funny part about it is that I think that if you want, and I think it could get the interesting part about it is what the betting is going to be like. I think you're going to get Accelerate as the third choice.
yeah,
Because I think because Baffert's got Justify and everybody will bet him, and then of course City of Lights won and he's won 2 grade ones over the track. So
I guess that's possible. Huh.
I mean, like I said, because of the if Dr. Dorr was trained by somebody else, I would say no question about it, he'd be the third choice. But because it's Baffert, that might be different. We'll see tomorrow, I guess. What's the ticket? Oh, we're almost
there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think
if we could agree on one horse, we could probably pay a pick 5.
In that race, I don't think we can agree on one horse.
Okay.
Because I'm not saying I wouldn't bet City of Light. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I don't know that you could. I think the only thing you can do to me in that race, especially if you like to single, if you want to single like Baby Gronk or it's in the post, is you take all 3. You take Accelerate, you take City of Light, and you take Dr. Door, and whoever wins. You hope the third choice wins, but
yeah,
the money should somewhat be spread out evenly between the 3. I mean, I would think you'll see one maybe 8-5, one 9-5, one 5-2, or some. I mean, maybe on a lower scale, maybe more like 6-5, 7-5, 2-1, or something like that. But again, if it was me, I would try and find a spot to single in late in the later race. Like if it's in the post is somebody you like. Single him and then take the 3 favorites in the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
All right. So in leg number 1, I've got the 1, the 5, and the 6. That's all 3 of our options there.
Could they have done that for TV? Make a race 5? I mean, I'm just wondering. 5:30 East Coast time.
I don't. You know what? I don't know if they're doing it for TV. I mean, it's not for. If it is, it's not for TVG. It's got to be for another outlet.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any reason to do that.
All right,
anyway.
So back to our ticket. Okay, so we got 1, 5, 6. Those are all 3 of our picks. In leg 2, we got 4. That's 1, 5, 7, 8, and I believe that's all 4 of all of our picks as well. In leg 3, I've just got the 2 East Coast Invaders. I just got the 5 and the 7. Ray, you've got the 3 and the 1 on there, but we don't have any consensus on those 2. And in the last leg, we've got 1, 4, 7, 10, which I believe, Ray, other than the 8, that's all of our picks as well. 4 times 4 times 3 is 48.
Yeah.
$. You okay with that?
Okay. I'm okay with the main ticket, but as we've been doing, I'm wondering if we want to maybe play since we have the 2 chalks in the first 2 legs. If we want to do maybe a smaller ticket with just it's in the post and Baby Gronk, because they're going to be short prices, to see if maybe we want to maximize some investment in case it quote unquote chalks out.
So that would be the 6. Who was Baby Gronk in this one? Is he
7.
the 7? 7?
7, yeah.
All right.
And then we could use the same horses in the last two legs because that would be like if we played that for another 50 cents, it'd be a $4 ticket.
Mm.
Or if we wanted to play it for another $1, it'd be an $8 ticket. Again, like I said, because if it does chalk out, I'd rather win money this time.
Really? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Rich, I know we don't do this just because we like horse race handicapping. Not to state the obvious to those people who are watching.
Getting all picky.
Yeah, I'm getting picky. I like to win money. I want to retire. I want to retire before I'm 75.
Which one do we want to go with? Do you want to go with the
I
$8?
want money. Pick this triple.
Yeah. You want the $4?
The triple. Pay nice.
We can go 4 or 8. That doesn't bother me. We can go either way.
Yeah, give it 3 times.
Well, if we go 8, we would have it 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times. Right. Yeah, so I'm saying. Yeah, 2 and then 1. Yeah.
All right.
50
So
cents. 150. Yeah.
If you're playing along at home, the red is Ray, the black is Joe, and the blue is Rich. And then the green on the very top one is our consensus ticket. And the purple, which we've just actually unveiled this last couple of weeks, is kind of like our double down hand. So there you go. I think that's a total of $56. And you got 156 with 1578 with 57 with 14710. And then the double down hand is a version of that. You get 6 with 7 with 57 with 14710.
Okay, I'm sorry, and I hate to do this. There is one other option. If we want to do that other ticket for 50 cents, we go all in the last leg. How many are there? 10 in there. So that would make it a $10 ticket for 50 cents, but then at least we would have everybody. Just the thought.
That was good. I like all.
No, actually, that in that last leg, that could end up being mine if I decide to single it's in the post in the first leg.
So because that's a $10 ticket for 50 cents.
Okay.
So 6, 7, 5. Okay, I'm just writing this down just so that. Okay.
All right, I will come on back. All right, and I am back, and we're going to move along here. All right, a couple of minutes after the hour. Thank you for hanging around with us. For those of you watching, if you enjoyed the show, well, we're going to be back next week because that's what the Three Broke Guys do. We're going to get together and take a look at another exciting card. We're not quite back to the Belmont. Oh, boy, it has slipped out of my mind. Joe or Ray, remind me, which track are we doing next week?
Penn National.
Penn National. So actually, it's one of our stops in Pennsylvania. So we're at Penn National for the Penn Mile. All right, gentlemen, that's all the time we have for tonight. It's always a pleasure to handicap with the two of you.
Yes, it is. Always a pleasure.
Always laugh. It's always good.
For Joe English and Ray Torado, I'm Rich Sharp. Thank you for watching Three Broke Guys Handicapping. Good luck and good night.
Good night, all.
All right.